Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Brainbank TV, and we already started this yesterday. Trying to recreate this roulette challenge again. But this time, we've reduced the spin count to two. Trying to stick by exactly what we set out to do. Although I have done some accounts of what we've done so far, so it's totally not been a waste of time. There have been some data to collect, and I elaborated on that on the accounts video I showed yesterday. So do check that out if you haven't seen that. You can also check that out in the portfolio. Sorry, in the playlist for both the roulette challenge and the roulette journal. Well, anyway, we're gonna get into it today. We're doing four spins as usual. As usual from starting yesterday, and as I was saying yesterday, the lessons I learned so far from trying to get the multi-platform done, as well as extending that spin count to multiple spins over a given session. And the lesson I said I learned was the less is more when it comes to this inverse strategy that we have, based on the fact that we're risking a lot more every single time. It just doesn't make any real reason to be in that space risking that much every single time. So hence that's the lesson I learned. And when I was saying that yesterday, came into here and I was talking about how we can try and be as systematic as we can and be patient and whatnot. And guess what? First spin, what did we do? We went and lost straight away. I mean, I'm betting on 35 bloody numbers on a roulette wheel. How is that even a thing? That, like, I don't even understand. Sometimes you've got to put that into perspective, right? 37 numbers in a basket, and I'm telling it to pick one number, and it happens to be the one that isn't selected. That is a freaking bummer, innit? But anyways, we're gonna keep it going because here we're trying to collect data. If you guys have any idea as to what kind of strategy kind of works for you, if you have a strategy that works for you partially or whatnot, and maybe you don't adhere to some strict money management regime, which is what we're trying to do here, which is what I think is required to make those outrageous profits if you know what you're doing or if you have a strategy that works. But a lot of people go into the casinos just with an unknown number in their head and trying to make money that isn't sustainable. You want to make earnings that you can continuously come in. I can repeat this: roulette boards have been around for God knows how long, a long, long time, right? So, like, I could continue doing the same strategy without having to deviate from it for the next 100 years because roulette wheels haven't changed that much. Do you see where I'm going with that? But if you had a strategy that wins you money every now and again, or it's kind of like 40-60 win race ratio, and maybe you don't manage the money right. And if you have a win rate ratio of 40%, you're not going to make any money, especially if you don't manage the money right. So yeah, I do have a win rate of 80 to 90% here, but the inverse risk reward is just a slunder, really. It just absolutely backstabs you every single time so far, and that is what we're trying to see if we can amend and adjust and maybe go on to make some profits, which we can then potentially buy some shares. As you know, the market is in turmoil right now. But anyways, let's get into it. Get into the screens. We're gonna do four spins. I can chat to you guys while I'm waiting for the spins, but I'd rather just get on with it because at the end of the day, we are here to spin some roulette board. Square roulette is what we're on. Hopefully we can do all right. I mean, I don't know how long to predict these runs for. The thing is, I didn't want it. I wanted to use I had more than these five sequence numbers because that's what I have at the moment. Unfortunately, there's only five sequence number I can work with on both the platforms I'm using currently. It's not a big deal. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know. five sequence numbers realistically should be enough, especially when we're trying to be as minimalistic as possible, if that's a word. Right, we're trying to be very, very cautious with how we will spin these boards. There's 50 guys on this board apparently right now. I presume this is not just for Sky Casino, because I think some of these platforms, something I've noticed, they tend to share some of these lobbies. Like they probably have a building somewhere where the wheels are set up, and there's probably a third party company that manages that. As you can see, the name of the actual platform you log on to here is slightly different from what is called Casino. Sky Casino just creates the front end platform for users to get onto. That's how I see it anyway. Do I go for a spin now? Okay, 9 and 17 I went for. First spin again, we're only doing 2 spins, so realistically we're not asking for too much. We're trying to be as not greedy as possible, because at the end of the day, if you think about the accumulation of that whatever amount it is, although it's 50p every spin here, but realistically what I'm trying to go is, if you think about that accumulation over time, yes, you'll get those losses, but can you then have your profits run past those losses? That is the aim of the game, realistically. I'll be honest with you. There's not much else to it. I wish I could give it more room and make a little bit more here and there, but the more numbers you leave out, the more risk you open up. You see, I can barely get through certain spins, and I'm literally leaving 2 numbers out on the board. Is that even a thing? Right? So, I mean, casino, the way I see it is roulette realistically is a mugs game, because obviously, like, you can tell from what I'm doing, right? I mean, should I not get 500 winning streak without getting losses? I think that should potentially be a thing, right? Because at the end of the day, look at the board, guys. 2 numbers missing, and I still managed to get losses more regularly than none. Than not, sorry. Not more regularly than not. And that is something that I have issues accepting, really, because as probability says, this should be something that works out. This should be something that works out. Every day I come into this board, right? Every time I come into this platform, the probability technically is the same. The situation is pretty much the same, apart from the dealing might be different. You might roll it from a different slight angle, whatnot. But at the end of the day, the rule of probability states, or should state, that the odds of what I'm doing here should be really high, because I should barely get any losses, right? That's what I'm trying to get at anyway. 49.13 is our balance. 49.13. Close that down. 49.13. Again, I'm not gonna be switching around and maybe doing extra spins after I've lost. I'm literally gonna keep to a very strict regime here, and the end goal is the what I genuinely mean long-term picture here. And the truth is, right, a pound isn't a lot. That's what my risk appetite allows me to do right now. I mean, if I had more money, maybe when I got paid or whatnot, then I could potentially do that. But this is a test run. That's why it's so little. But realistically, the aim of what I'm trying to do here, or what I'm trying to show, is risk. Money works for money, right? The more risk you're able to take, the more you can potentially make. It shows like that in gambling and business and most walks of life. Situations that tend to be like that, where the more risk you take, technically, the more potential return you could get. Not always the case where you get those returns, but that's essentially how the system works. Now, when you put it into perspective, that I only make £1 a spin or a day on each of these platforms, it's not a lot. Is it worth watching a video for? Probably not. I wouldn't do it sometimes if you think about the situation here. But my idea was there are people in this world today who go to work and earn £100, maybe £10 an hour, work 10 hours a day and get £100. Now they would have done that for 10 hours worth of work. But at the same time, when I say soldiers work for money, right, what you then got to consider is the fact that I could walk into a casino with what, 1750 I worked that out as? So that would give you £100, no, £10. What I'm trying to get at, I can't remember the math off the top of my head right now, I've gone into brain freeze, but if you worked out exactly how much £100 would be to make 50 quid, 50 quid a spin, so I could work out how much that would be across a 35 number ball and do that for 2 spins. Furthermore, in fact, I could do that for 1 spin. As you can see, you can lose on that 1 spin, so how about just making 1 spin where you make 50 to £100 a day in 1 spin? Yes, it will cost you a heck of a lot more money, but if you think about the fact that it takes 10 hours for a normal working class person to go and make £100 and you've done it in about 3 seconds, then you can not justify, but you can kind of see why the risk is so high. But that's what I'm trying to get at here, is the essence of money, and I'll keep learning this over and over again. Money is a very powerful thing, and if you know how to use it properly, it will get you so far in life. It will get you so far in life, right? And I could give you a very, very minute little example of this, taking into consideration what's going on with the stock market, with markets being nearly 30% down over the last few weeks. It's not been a great situation. And as a result of that, you can see some increases in the currency market as well, with the dollar index, the XY. For those of you who don't know what that is, just leave a comment. I can give you some information on that. But the dollar index has got some incredible gains over the last few weeks, and dollar gaining some strength. And what I'm trying to get at with this is I have a trading account that holds its assets under management, which is the money in the capital in the account. The base currency of that fund is in dollars, and guess what? My money over this last few weeks have been sort of making money without me actually doing anything. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is if you knew and understood how to reutilize the power of leverage and interest rates and all of these percentages that you see get thrown around the financial market and the financial industry, then you'll probably get quite far in life if your goal is to make some headwind with cash anyway. That's my two cents on that. I'm going to get onto the next platform because I've completely derailed that off topic right now. We're going to get onto Coral and get the 2 spins done on Coral real quick. Hopefully we can have a smooth run on here too. But yeah, the idea of what I'm doing here is taking that concept of power of money. If you think of the fact that yes, I could spin half the board and get 50% back, or bet on black and red with a 50% win rate, but I can't really quantify a 50% win rate could go either way, really, really bad. Do you see where I'm trying to go with that? You can't really quantify that. If I did a 50% win rate on a simple strategy, say red and black over a month's period, I don't think I could potentially get similar results over an extended period because of the fact it is 50-50 and potentially even less than 50-50 because of the consideration of the green zero ball. So sorry. So it's very, very hard to get a strategy that would give you those kind of returns that can potentially be repeatable, and that is where you want to be. If you want to be a professional gambler or you want to make some passive income doing gambling, then essentially that would be probably the aim of the game. The thesis of what you're trying to do would be, can I find a strategy that can potentially provide me returns, but provide me returns on a consistent, repeatable basis over an extended period of time? Very difficult to do, and that's what we're trying to do here. So I don't know how it's going to work out in the long run, but I don't know. I don't know how it will work out in the long run. What I can say is I did play around a little with the uh, Martingale system, and so far I haven't really had much luck with it. I'll be honest with you. So that's why I kind of put a hold on the thought of starting a video with that, because I don't want to start getting into another hole where we're not quite sure of the strategy's foothold, but then decide to do a video of it. I just don't want to cough the videos through halfway through what's going on, really. That's why. So we won our first spin, we left up 15 and 23, and we got 27. That looks like, yeah, 27. So yeah, if the thought that you could do something, yes, it takes me time to set up the videos and do whatnot, and it's just a little amount of money right now. But if you think of, okay, if I put it up to £5 and it works, it genuinely worked over a period of time, then guess what? I could just literally log on to something like this for 2 seconds of my time, not thinking too much about it, and potentially generate substantial gains, over a period of time, right? Which is what the aim of the game is, right? Do you know what I mean? I could do this for now on a £1, getting £1 a day. That could get to £10 a day, and £10 a day in a month is 300 quid. Yes, you might not get that 300 quid consistently because the fluctuations on your luck and the randomness of the board will always fluctuate, basically, right? So it's very hard to know what the outcome would be realistically, which is what we're trying to do here. But I do believe if you take the fact that being less is more, 5007, let me just write this down, 5007. If you take the fact that less is more, then, and the probability of this coming through quite regularly is quite high, then you can see where I'm going, guys. I don't know how else to put it, really. But I'd rather do this than to bet on 5 numbers, or however, what other systems people use out there. Maybe bet on the odd evens, what the middle counters on the board, so 1 to 15s or whatnot, 1 in 3s. There are a lot of different systems to use on that board. The problem is none of them actually give you a more than 75% profit. Risk profit margin when it comes to, not profit margin, my bad. I meant the win loss ratio, basically. The win loss ratio. If it's much in your favor, the way I see it is in the long run, because that win loss ratio is in your favor, and in your favor by a huge amount, then you could potentially make something off it. That's what I'm getting at. But I might be completely stupid doing this wrong. Who knows? We shall see. Anyway, I hope I haven't bored you guys out today. It's been a bit of a long-winded conversation, really, when trying to do just 4 spins in total on a platform. But we did complete them. We didn't have a loss today, which is good. Hopefully, with this less is more attitude, we can get somewhere and actually get some sort of rhythm going when it comes to the actual idea I had in my head, the vision I had initially when I set this up. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, I'll be releasing some more content soon. Do look out for some videos on Football Index and trade and the like, but I haven't got around doing that yet, so we'll see how that gets on. cheers for today, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's a beautiful day out in England today in the UK. This Saturday afternoon, so do enjoy your time off. And do stay safe, wash your hands, and take care, guys. Good day.